Everybody, happy Friday. On our way back home, actually. Was down here in Kingston, showing home, and want to get into a video. So, me and the boss, aka the wife, stopped and looked at a rental property a few nights ago, and we've been kind of combing through the numbers, and I think overall it's something that we are very interested in doing. To the point where I'm like 90% there. I just need like a little bit of extra 10%. We just got a lot going on, especially with the insurance company should be up and running. Home and auto insurance company, that should be up and running on March 1st, maybe a couple days before then. So that's costing a good bit of money to get up and running, and all the technology and software and insurance for insurance and blah blah blah. And obviously we had a huge purchase back in July. Our biggest purchase ever with those condos. So that kind of emptied the war chest out. We've slowly kind of built up back, and we're in a position to be able to buy this. I'm very conservative on my investments, and I like to be in a good financial position at all times. If anything ever was to happen, we're set for a long time. So let's break down the numbers, right? So this house, we can get it for $195,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and it's all in good shape. Like, it's move-in ready. There's some things that are older on it, such as the HVAC. Some of the things that we're actually considering is, how about we pay maybe $6,000-7,000 more for it, and we get the seller to basically pay that difference to an HVAC company to get a brand new HVAC. Because the last thing what I want to do is buy a house and then come to find out I need to pay $6,000-7,000 for a brand new HVAC. Right now, sure, that's tax deductible, but that's just annoying, right? It'd be better off when you're buying rental real estate. You only need 20% down. So you're using 80% of the bank's money to buy this stuff. So I would rather use bank's money, somebody else's money, to do these things to it. That's really the only thing we know that we need. Now, I'll probably pay an inspector to come out there, so that's probably $400. Take a look at everything, make sure everything's good. Plumbing, electrical, all that stuff that I don't test. Attic, right? No leaks in the roof, stuff like that. But how the numbers break down. Right, and this is at 7% interest. That's the key, right? And that's something I guess I'm having a hard time. I don't want to buy it at 7% interest, and then in 2 years, sure, right, rates will be down in the probably the low 5s, and then I'll refinance, but then that costs me thousands of dollars just to refinance. So that's the only thing I'm having a hard time with is buying in the 7%, and that's a conversation I have with buyers every day. But it still cash flows at 7%. So that tells me if it cash flows at 7%, it is a good deal. It is so hard right now in this market to find property that cash flows, meaning it fully pays for the mortgage and it provides me some monthly income coming in. So how these numbers break down, right? If I put down 20%, so let's just say that's the ballpark 20% of, let's just call it a $200,000 purchase, $40,000. So I gotta give $40,000, right? The bank is going to give me the rest. Bank's going to give me another $160,000. So there's the purchase. Now on that payment, right, with 7% interest, the payment's around $1,200. So if the payment's around $1,200, we know that based on the area, location, how the neighbors are, everything there, we think we can rent this out for about $1,600. Now, this is not obviously I've done a video, I don't know if you guys have seen on my TikTok. I think we posted, my wife handles a lot of that, but I think we've also posted on a lot of the Facebook and Instagrams. We're talking about the 1% method, right? Which is, man, if you can find something, if you can pay the purchase price for it and rent it out per month for 1% of the purchase price, that is a killer deal. So I'm not here, right? If I pay $200,000 for this, I don't think I can rent it out for $2,000. I think that's just too much for the area that it's in. So I think I can rent it out for $1,600, and I feel very confident about that number. So that tells me if my monthly payment is $1,200, I can rent it out for for $1,600, that's a cash flow of $400 a year. Or I'm sorry, $400 a month. And it wouldn't be good if that was $400 a year. So $400 a month cash flow is what this rental property would give me. Now, this is the key, because whenever I look at rental properties, I look at it, you know, what's my short term, what's my long term, what's my medium, what could happen, what it could have, should have, all that stuff. I'll try to look at everything. Tax benefits is another big one. So if I get $40,000 for this, and I know I make $4,000 per month, well, there's 12 months in a year. $400 is what is that? 1%. Yeah, 1% of 40,000. So I'm giving $40,000, and I should have a 12% return. You know, obviously you'd say no repairs, but right, a 12% return on my money. That's a good return, right? And in my eyes, I don't know that there's a stock that's averaged 12%. You know, and I think there's only upside for rent to continue to go up. Especially the location, but I think for right now about 1,600 is a good number for it. So that's 12% return, which again I think is great. If you ask any investor, hey, give me your money and I'll give you 12%, I think most investors are going of any kind. That's a good deal. So that I'm like, all right, that makes sense, right? Even though $400 doesn't sound a whole lot, and I think it's because we got so lucky with our other properties. You know, they're locked into like a 4% or less interest rate, and we got them at, you know, killer deals, and the market was on its up and up, and in certain situations we make a lot of the properties we cash flow like $700 to over $1,000 a month on. So comparing it to those, I'm like, man, that's not a great deal, but I have to realize, like, this is today and time. Like, real estate is what it is, right? Prices are high, interest rates are high, and so if something cash flows, great. So I did this math too. I was like, all right, well, what happens if you know, rates drop to 5% and I refinance? Well, bam, it drops basically down to like $1,000. Payment goes like $1,000. So now I'm cash flowing $600, and then potentially within that time, right, maybe it rents $1,700, $1,800, right? So now I'm into some great cash flow there. So all that is great. 12% return is great, right? So the numbers are making great sense. Now this is where, to me, ultimately the main reason why we got into real estate, I don't invest in anything else, is for the tax benefits, right? So as a real estate professional, I get to write off losses in real estate. Well, losses are considered depreciation. And for me, we ran the numbers, so we looked at the tax records. I've done videos on this, so please go and find that video. We look at the tax records. The land value is at 8% of the total tax appraisal of this, which is a great number, right? 8% is low. That's big time. So that means I'm going to save a lot. So 8% of the purchase price I can't depreciate because that's considered land value. So again, on a $200,000 house, 8% is going to be let me get my numbers right. Yeah, $200,000 house, 8%. Yeah, $16,000. Yeah, was off there for a second. Yeah, so $16,000 is what I cannot depreciate. That's considered the land value. Now the remaining $184,000 I can depreciate. That's considered the dwelling value, which is big time. So now, right, this all goes to the tax plan that's in the Senate. And I think that's the 10% that I mentioned earlier in the video that's holding me up. Is right now bonus depreciation is at 60% in 2024. Well, if the Senate will hurry up and quit trying to put Trump in prison, and we'll do this tax bill that benefits everybody, then bonus depreciation will go back to 100%. Well, if bonus depreciation is at 100% based on doing the cost savings, that is going to look like we're going to save $65,000 in taxes doing a cost segregation study on this property based on how the numbers play out. $65,000 is a lot of money. Here's the kicker, right? And this is how just screwed up the tax system is. And I don't want to say screw up, right? This is how the game is played. People just don't know how to play the game. It's a very easy game to play once you know it, but most people just don't take the time. You know, they'd rather watch Netflix movies and TV shows versus spend a little bit of time on YouTube and podcasts learning how to actually do taxes yourself. Because again, I'll say 95% of these CPAs that are out there are crap. They're lazy. They just want to submit your stuff and get paid. They're not tax advisors. They actually don't know a whole lot. Like, they know, like, as far as submitting taxes and that sort of thing goes, yeah, they're good at that. But these people aren't like worried about trying to save you money. A lot of times what you're paying them is you're paying them a flat rate, and they're not making more or less money by that stuff. So that's why I took an initiative. I was like, I got to figure this stuff out myself. That's what I've done. I've done that, and I've had a lot of help along the way. I mean, we pay a company a lot of money that's put us in a position to be able to do these things. But the cost segregation study saving me $65,000. Well, my investment in the property is only $40,000. So I'm literally giving $40,000 that goes towards the principal. That is my money. That's still my money. It is going towards the principal though. So I still have my $40,000. So I'm giving that. That $40,000 is going to turn. It's going to pay me $400 a month. Great. But I'm also, now I get to make $65,000 this year and not pay taxes on it because of the bonus depreciation, taking that right off all up front in year one, which is about 35% of the dwelling value alone. Cannot count the land. So that's how the game's played, and I would encourage everybody to play the game. It's not just for the billionaires you see on TV and all this stuff. You can do it, right? You got a lawn mowing business on the side, anything that you're a business owner or something like that. You're not a W-2. W-2 people have no tax write-offs. W-2 people pay all of our taxes. But if you have any sort of business, anything like that, man, exploit the legal write-offs. Don't do anything that's not legal. Exploit the legal write-offs. They're out there. You can do so much stuff legally, and you just need to learn it. But anyways, figure I would share this with you again. I want to buy it. I'd like to be in a little bit better financial position as a whole. To do it, we're in a position we can buy it, we'd be fine. But again, being on the conservative side, that's the only thing that kind of scares me. Of just kind of, not having 40 grand that I can access anytime. It's gone. It's in a property. Yeah, figure I'd make a video, just kind of share that, let you know where we are and things that we're potentially looking to do. As always, if you have questions, real estate, investing, all of that, I'm happy to answer. I'm not a tax professional. I'm happy to answer. I love talking. I love just talking business and this tax stuff. I geek out on it, and plus I enjoy educating people. So maybe something I say they, don't, or it gives them a tax code cheat, as I would call it, but a legal one, and maybe it saves them thousands of dollars instead of giving it back to the government. So y'all have a great day.